There it is, part of the 11-minute 911 call from a Selwood couple that ended with the birth of a baby, a beautiful baby. The dispatcher giving those crucial instructions met with mom, dad, and baby in person for the first time this week. Well, we're going to continue the reunion right here this afternoon on Portland Today.
That involves the youngest guest, I do believe, in the history of this show. Baby Celia in the hands right now, in the lap of mom Sarah, dad Andy next to her, and we have the dispatcher that was a big part of that call, Caitlin here as well. The reunion continues, but the first question goes to you, Mom. This is your second child.
Yes.
So you went through labor once before in your life.
I did.
Talk about how this one started and why it was so different from the first time around.
Well, the first one was more typical in like the length of time it took. It was about 11 hours.
Okay.
And so when things started with this, I just assumed it would be similar. They always say it's a little faster the second time, but I didn't imagine it would be that fast.
By a little, they meant a lot.
Yes, exactly.
Caitlin, you're obviously trained to handle these situations, but had you ever had a call quite like this one, and what went through your mind?
No, actually, this is my first call, my first childbirth call, so I was obviously nervous. It's a lot of pressure to have, you know, anytime a baby's brought into this world, it's a big deal, and there's a lot that could go wrong, and it went very smoothly, and they did all the hard work.
Explain how you knew what to tell them.
We have a couple triage cards that we use for pre-arrival instructions, depending on what happens upon delivery. We have different instructions for that. And so I was reading that to them and making sure that Dad was supporting the baby's head and had a towel nearby. And yeah.
So, Dad, how did this go down for you? Because I hear you're a little squeamish when it comes to medical procedures.
Yeah, well.
In fact, the birth itself, you were kind of like, how am I going to get through this? All of a sudden, here it's happening on the bathroom floor.
I sort of prepared myself by watching some YouTube videos, and I felt...
Prepared for the bathroom floor delivery?
The traditional.
Not quite, the traditional. But, you know, I never thought I'd have to do it myself. And when the decision had to be made, what to do, where to go, we decided we just couldn't make it to the hospital or to the birthing center as intended. So I had to call 911 for help.
I'm wondering, we don't hear it on the tape, but at one point, Caitlin, did you ever kind of grab the phone and cover it up and say, I need some help in here?
We do have a mute switch right available to us, so there was some muting that was happening and some commentary that is not on the recording.
And we actually have that tape. You didn't know about this.
Let's roll that. No.
But yet you remained calm the whole time. Is that, Andy, what allowed you to get through it? Was her calmness on the other end of that call?
Absolutely, absolutely. Her level of professionalism, just her voice seemed very steady and ready to go, like she had done this 100 times. It was very much a surprise to hear it was her first time. So
you guys all met this week. What was that experience like?
It was very, just such a heartwarming experience because, you know, as a 911 dispatcher, we never get to meet our callers. Once we hang up, that's that, and I hope I never hear from them again because, you know, it's never...
You don't want another emergency.
Yeah, you know, calling 911 is typically for a bad emergency, but you know, this is one of the biggest moments of their lives. So it was very cool to be a part of that and then get to meet them and baby Celia.
She's perfect. Kind of full circle.
Yes.
And Sarah, you are, you know, at the center of all this. What were you experiencing as you're listening to Andy and get instructions from Caitlin? What's going through your mind?
You know, pretty much it was just like, well, I guess this is happening here, and I just have to go with it. And it wasn't, you know, everyone was pretty calm, and it helped me to stay calm too.
We hear sometimes about irregular birthplaces, if you will, babies being born in some odd situations. So when it's all said and done, the call goes through, we have a baby in our hands, there has to be a trip to the hospital immediately thereafter. I'm guessing that's the next thing, or do you start making phone calls? Hey, guess what just happened? Guess what we got right here? No, you immediately are ziplining for the hospital.
yeah, well, after the baby was born, literally in my hands, the paramedics showed up right away into our bathroom and swooped in and took control.
Okay.
So, and after that, Sarah had to go to the hospital and the baby too, just to you know,
Just
have
to be
further
safe.
help.
And
Yeah, just to be
Caitlin,
safe.
did this completely solidify your choice to do what you do?
Absolutely, absolutely. Having such a positive outcome, everybody was happy and healthy. It's so rewarding to be a part of that.
We should mention Celia has a big sister, Kira, who's at school right now. She was not home. when all this happened.
No, she was not.
And she's still in school, but maybe when she comes home here in just a few minutes this afternoon, she can watch today's episode and go, Mom and Dad, you did a great job on TV. Caitlin, you were pretty good too. Baby Celia was perfect.
My goodness, is she always this
She's a
calm?
darling.
She's much calmer than her sister was.
She wasn't at 4 a.m. this morning.
Took all her excitement out with the birth.
Yes, exactly.
And Caitlin, I imagine when you heard her cry for the first time on the other end of the line, it must have just, wow, that must have
There's
been
nothing
overwhelming.
like it. You really can't describe it until you hear it, and you're right there in the moment. And you know, hearing a complete stranger's baby cry for the first time is joyous. And they found out the sex of the baby upon delivery. So
Oh, wow.
hearing that reaction,
You had to do all the
was
stuff
also
that day.
so amazing.
All kinds of surprises for
Yeah,
you, Andy.
absolutely.
I'm
No,
surprised you're still as calm as you are.
That was the moment I wanted to faint, was when I finally saw the baby cry and we heard it was a girl. And
Aw, that's
Well,
fantastic.
fantastic. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We hope Celia stays this calm.
Well, it's time to meet another